Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Casper Network, aka CSPR. So with that being said, let's just dive in and let's start off with a few things. So in terms of the holders, we are nearing 36,000. I think the last time that I looked at this, we were sitting at about like 34.7K. I might be wrong on that, but we've been adding a lot of holders recently, which is very exciting to see. Also, stake supply sitting at roughly almost 75%, which is awesome as well. Almost 9 billion Casper is staked, which is awesome. And also, by the way, now over on Casper, you can actually follow the IPWe deployments. If you actually click follow, here you guys can see it. 145 out of 25 million have been minted so far. This has been minting since going all the way back to May of 2022, so this is taking some time. I can't wait until we start to see a lot more being tokenized, because so far we've seen about 79 minted. I can't wait to see a lot more of these minted. I know that they did say it's going to happen over time, but 25 million still left to be minted, essentially, because it's like over 24.999 million. There's so much left to be unlocked here in terms of value wise, so I'm very, very excited about this. And we also do see up here that real mint hasn't started. Current stats are for the test contract CEP47 of IPWe, so technically speaking, yes, 25 million still needs to be minted. But I can't wait until we start to see this really, start to gain a lot of minted patents as well as value derived from this, because remember, the more the network has computational volume, the more value that gets unlocked. Also, the ecosystem, we have started to see the ecosystem expanding a little bit recently. You guys know me, I cannot wait for a lot more DeFi use cases to come to Casper. So far, we still have a lot of great ones, like, for example, Nucleus Finance, which, yes, we will be talking about in this video as well, but also partners. I didn't even realize this, but there's a lot of partners on this that I haven't even broken down in the past. If you guys do want to see that, definitely hit that like button, because I might be making more videos on some of these partners and really kind of breaking down, the significance behind a lot of them. But with all of that in mind, let's dive into IPWe a little bit, because I do think that the statistics here for IPWe are very exciting. We've obviously broken this use case down in the past quite a bit, but I want to go all the way back to 2021 with IBM. So here's IBM and IPWe seek to transform corporate patents with next generation NFTs using IBM blockchain. And if we do see an ecosystem that tokenized patents can allow intellectual property to be treated as business assets, making patents easier to license, sell, and commercialize. And if we look into this, the one thing that I wanted to bring up around this is the overall evolution behind these assets and these different tokenized assets as well. The IPWe platform is designed to transform the patent asset class by increasing transparency and promoting engagement, which we believe will encourage innovation. The use of NFTs to represent patents will help create completely new ways to interact with IP. This is expected to benefit not only large enterprises that have significant intellectual property, but it will bring new opportunities to small and medium enterprises and even individual IP owners. We believe it will usher in new offerings by financial services firms and corporations to promote the evolution of a new asset or patent asset class. I also think that tokenization itself is going to open the door for a lot more asset classes to be created. I also think that the asset classes that are out there that are very large, like real estates, for example, are going to be disrupted heavily by tokenization and ultimately allow for a lot more value to be derived, as well as a lot more volume. Now also, I started to think a little bit about Casper, and I started to think about the future a little bit. As we do look at enterprises and businesses, I know that we go all the way back to Hedera, because Hedera has been the leader around the enterprise grade sector for so long. But it got me thinking about these upgradable smart contracts. And before I even jump in, can somebody please reach out to Casper and tell them that this red color is horrendous? I'm sorry, I just had to take a little bit of a break to just mention how bad this red actually is, because I'm recording this at around 5 in the morning, and this red is burning my eyes. But nonetheless, as we do look into Casper, we actually look at things happening around Casper, I believe that this is the first future-proof blockchain. We see what makes Casper ideal for people that solve problems. And let me zoom in real quick on this. So a future-proof blockchain for real-world adoption. Casper embraces change. Unlike many other blockchain networks, Casper was designed to evolve in line with their users and partners' ever-changing needs. Businesses and developers using blockchain technology need to ensure reliability and trust as market dynamics and requirements change. As markets evolve and new developments arise, it is crucial that blockchain applications are able to consistently deliver on their promises, regardless of the level of unpredictability or fast-paced changes in their respective sectors. Casper is a powerful public smart contract platform empowering creators, communities, and businesses to connect with integrity and trust. It operates as a future-proof blockchain enabling long-term solutions to real-world challenges. Casper was designed and built with this in mind, featuring an adaptable and modular architecture that allows it to continuously develop and stay ahead of the curve. This makes Casper a future-proof blockchain network that is well-equipped to meet the challenges of the present and the future. A core vision at Casper is to provide builders with the tools and infrastructure they need to build sustainable and successful applications that can withstand the test of time. In my opinion, as we really look at this, I believe that Casper is going to be around for many, many decades. I believe that as more and more adoption comes to the blockchain and crypto space, I think that it's going to be networks like Casper that get a large amount of that value and volume that comes. And the reason why is because of that upgradability. You know, businesses want to upgrade their smart contracts. Businesses will have a lot of demands that need to be met. And I think that Casper is the network of choice that will be able to meet those demands. And I think that that's going to be a very significant thing that sets Casper apart from the rest. Also, you know, as we do look at what's happening around Casper today, we know that they are implementing zero knowledge proofs, which is very large. This is going to allow it to revolutionize its security, scalability, and even privacy. I think that this is a big deal considering the fact that we've been following this for a while, even around like Zilliqa, for example. ZK proofs are very large in the sense that it allows for scalable, like extremely scalable use cases to be built out. I don't know if we will see a lot more projects built around Casper that demand a lot more scalability. I'm sure that there will be, but I do like the idea of more privacy and security because that is also going to be very beneficial for a lot of those enterprise grade use cases. We also do see down here macro trends driving Casper's development and adoption: tokenization, tokenized economy, decentralization, fractionalization, as well as micro economies and community. So as we do look at tokenization, obviously this is a big deal. We've been following tokenization for so long. There is so much money on the sidelines just waiting to pour into this asset class. And I think that crypto, if it does meet its overall vision, we are going to see a lot of these networks like Casper achieve incredible heights. Now, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight, but I do think that Casper is going to be very successful even in the short and the long term. As we do see asset classes like real estate being tokenized, that's a massive amount of money in the hundreds of trillions of dollars. And I recently made a tweet talking about, you know, trillions of dollars coming to the space and, you know, how it can kind of grow tiresome of hearing that. But the problem is that like this is trillions of dollars. It doesn't just move overnight. It doesn't just flood in overnight. But I do think that we will see a lot of that money starting to come in small at first, but then, you know, we will start to see a lot more over time. It's very similar to what I've been talking about even with like the IPWe deployment. Like it's going to start small and then all at once we will start to see a lot more of these patents being minted. But this is their vision. I mean, like they want to become a leader around tokenization. They want to become, you know, a leader around the enterprise grade sector. And I think that's for good measure. Also, by the way, I made a tweet recently and I said, watching Casper slowly become the standard for financial markets is incredible. I've been deep diving into Actis myself, and it's crazy how overlooked and undervalued Casper still is. We are watching a new generation of finance being built before our eyes, and we do see from the X Frontier, Casper, the 32 Actis contract types represent 98% of all financial markets activity. There will be an entirely new class of financial products that can be built off of these. Like I said, new asset classes are going to be built upon these DLT rails. Actis is in the process of becoming part of the ISO standard. And also here we have, you know, big things that are happening with Casper Labs, Casper Network, Casper, and this is with, of course, Skybridge as well as Nucleus. But listen closely real quick.
There will be an entirely new class of financial products that can be built off of these, you know, basic 32 smart contracts that cover just about any financial product you can imagine in the market today. And we actually are working with companies already in Europe to transform their financial systems in a real meaningful way, not taking the existing system and just putting it on the blockchain, but really fundamentally transforming every product that they offer into an algorithm representation of finance.
So there you guys have it. The CTO of Casper dropping an absolute bomb here, talking about how they are already working with a lot of major players in Europe to, evolutionize their financial systems. And, she's not talking about just, hey, let's bring your financial system over to Cat. No, like this is a fundamental change in the history of finance. And I'm very excited about this. Again, these types of use cases demand patience though, because it's going to take time, but time I have, and time I'm willing to wait for incredible wealth. And I think that Casper will deliver incredible wealth to those that do understand how big this actually is. And when we look at, algorithmic financial standards, aka Actus itself, this is going to be the standard around the financial system. But you see, Casper is not just about decentralized token economy, it's also about providing a solid foundation for smart financial contracts. We believe that all assets, including financial assets, will be tokenized. This includes bonds, loans, futures, swaps, and other on and off balance sheet instruments. The efficiency gains of DLT and blockchain-enabled systems in comparison to the existing rails and plumbing in finance and capital markets are just too high not to switch. However, efficiency, security, and transparency of these new infrastructures will only be achieved if the financial instruments which live in these new environments and move on these new rails are well defined. It is a precondition of success that financial contracts are machine readable, machine executable, verifiable, and thus auditable. And this is why Actus is a crucial player here. This is why Casper is leading the way in the implementation of open source smart financial contract standards, such as the implementation of the open source Actus standard, which provides a data model and consistent algorithmic definitions for financial contracts. The Actus standard can help to support the adoption of blockchain technology in the financial industry by providing a common language and framework for financial contracts. With this approach, businesses can be more confident in using blockchain technology to create financial products, which will foster a more vibrant ecosystem and faster adoption. So yeah, this is like a big deal around tokenization. This is the standardization that I believe will be utilized around this entirely new financial world. On-chain cryptographically secured financial tools possess the potential to disrupt financial services and capital markets. Many expect the tokenized financial asset industry to transform the future of world finance. With that being said, the current way tokenized assets or asset providers digitize assets has a lot of shortcomings. The absence of a unified standard keyword there, that defines cash flows in tokenized assets is arguably the key limitation. So this standardization is the key limitation here. Without such standardization, it is impossible for tokenized financial instruments to be interoperable. Beyond standardizing cash flows in tokenized assets, the Actus standard will also enable future reporting and regulatory requirements which are forward-looking. This is literally creating the standard for the future of finance. And we even do see a significant quote over here. Just as the internet transformed how we communicate and share information, the Casper blockchain and Actus can change the future of finance. And like the internet, this technology has the power to create new opportunities, promote inclusion, and help build a more prosperous future for all. I'm so damn excited about the future around Casper. And also, like, as we do look at like the future around a lot of these, major networks and technologies, it's going to take time. But like I said, it is time that I'm willing to wait, because nucleus finance and, with Actus and things like that, this is something very, very revolutionary. Even if you go over here to Actus, an open source framework for modern finance, they do have a significant quote over here by describing Actus. Modern finance is required to deal with a huge amount of data spread across distributed systems. This data provides the potential for better decision making, but in fast moving situations like the recent global financial crisis, uncertainty and doubt caused by a lack of access to information can prove costly. The Actus project, created and developed by a fusion of international partners and organizations, is a cutting-edge digital solution for improving the management of financial contracts on a global scale. The ultimate goal is for Actus to become a standard framework in the finance industry, and they've essentially become that. And it's all centered out on AI technology and also even blockchain technology. When we scroll all the way down here, so there's a Q&A, and it says, blockchain represents one of the major improvements in finance and other sectors. Do you think Actus can somehow benefit from this technology? And we do see, I think it is the other way around. Blockchain technology will profit from Actus, or more precisely, Actus and blockchain technology, or a more general distributed ledger technology, are complementary. Blockchain provides distributed, secure processing and storage and a mechanism of trust, thus fostering decentralized cooperation, but is contract agnostic. This knowledge is provided by Actus. It is composed of two parts: the data dictionary providing the format for the storage of contract-specific information, and the algorithms that transform the contract-specific information together with additional environmental information into cash flows. The data format, as well as the algorithms, can be used on different platforms, among others, on a blockchain, thus to create the infrastructure for future automated digital banks. Both BC/DLT and Actus are needed. This is crucial because what we are seeing right now is an evolution of almost every single major industry, and the future around finance is here. Like, we have been watching it becoming a reality for so long. And this is also why I say, like, you know, how big Casper is right now, it's only going to get much, much bigger now, right? Like, from here on out, you know, I've said it, like, a lot of these networks and a lot of these projects, you might not see it now, but they are top 10 projects. As we look at the top 10 right now, you know, to get into the top 10, you need to have an almost $3 billion market cap. And like, this is not me trying to say, hey, like, you know, look at Casper's going to do this. No, I'm just saying, like, you know, if Casper was to become a top 10 project, if you believe that Casper's a top 10 project, then you must believe that Casper, currently speaking right now, should have a market cap of roughly $8.3 billion. And then at near all-time highs of October of 2021, the top 10 project, Dogecoin, had almost $37 billion in market cap. Absolutely wild. And as we look at the evolution of finance, we know that Casper is playing a vital role. Tokenization is here. We are seeing this becoming a reality. We already have a live use case centered out on businesses and enterprises around tokenizing their intellectual property. There is billions of dollars tied up in these IP portfolios. We talked about it even with Porsche. Their IP portfolio is valued at more than their actual market cap. So unlocking that amount of capital is ultimately unlocking a ton of money into possibly the trillions of dollars, depending on how many companies actually have their intellectual property tokenized and essentially monetized as well. I'm so damn bullish on these use cases because these businesses, these enterprises, they want that. They want capital unlocked. They want, you know, monetization of, you know, things that are locked behind closed doors that blockchain technology essentially is needed to unlock. And Casper is playing a vital role in this. And I cannot wait until this amount of money, the $7 to $10 billion worth of patents, are unlocked on Casper. Because again, computational demand demands computational value, and this is going to provide value for the entire network. And I cannot wait to see where Casper is in the next couple years. Obviously, I cannot predict the future. I can't, you know, change the price of Casper, but if I could, and if I, you know, really think about it and I understand what's happening here around Casper, I do believe that Casper is going to be the next, you know, major player around this space. I don't know if it's going to go into the top 10, but if it does, I am going to be very, very happy about that. But hey, you know, if Casper goes into even the top 20, I'll even be happy with that, because that's almost a $10 billion market cap, or it's actually an $11.3 billion market cap at near all-time highs. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As is up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. If you guys are on this beautiful, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.